behind the scenes with future country rock blues kings and queens. Discover them first with Palm Mash TV. Palm Mash TV.
Well, hello there. It's Paul Mash TV time again. Thank you so much for joining us. We got a great interview coming up shortly. But don't forget about the subscribe and bell buttons below you there if you haven't clicked those yet. And you're always going to be notified of new episodes. And leave a comment on the comment section if you'd like. We'd love to hear from you there. And there's contact info in the description part of this interview. And also, if you check out the closing credits, we'll have that again for you there. So I hope you'll stay tuned for that. From Murraysville, Pennsylvania, we have Demi Michelle. Very awesome artist, I think you're going to agree. And we're going to get to that in a second, but first here's a quick word from the Caden Gordon Show, so don't go away. We'll be right back right after this.
The Caden Gordon Show. Today's best country mix is a 2-hour show playing independent and mainstream country music you know and love. Be sure to check it out at thecadengordonshow.com for more information on the show.
Okay, we're back, and with us from Murraysville, Pennsylvania, we have Demi Michelle with us today. Thanks for joining us, Demi.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, no problem. We're glad to have you. Well, why don't you tell us a little story about how it all began for you as far as your music career? I mean, have you always wanted to be an artist? Maybe you fell into it later. I mean, everyone has their own story. Let's hear yours.
Yeah, so I've always loved music ever since I was young. I started playing piano at 10 years old, and I grew up as a classically trained musician. So I played a lot of classical music, very advanced piano pieces. That was my whole background growing up. And then when I was in middle school, I joined choir just because all my friends were doing it. And I was like, I want to do this for the social experience because I was never really a singer. But I joined anyway for the whole thing to be with my friends. And so I did that. And then when I was in college, I double majored in music and creative writing. And I had to learn guitar in college as part of my degree. And it was around that time when I started to explore songwriting. I always knew songwriting was a thing, but it wasn't until I started to really dig deep into music and storytelling when I really wanted to explore that on my own. And when I first started songwriting, I really lacked confidence in my songwriting abilities, and so I didn't really tell anybody I was doing that. But then I finally gained the confidence to share my music with some of my friends, and then turned into me starting to record and release music. And so I've always loved music, but when I was younger, I didn't envision myself being an artist.
Well, that's quite a story. I'm sure you had many years ahead of you, so I hope you will.
Yeah.
Well, what were some of the artists you grew up with that influenced you? I mean, everyone's got their favorite artists, so what were some of yours?
Yeah, so growing up, I listened basically exclusively to pop music. So I love like Ariana Grande and Katy Perry, Selena Gomez, Demi Lovato, Taylor Swift. So there was like all of them. But once I started songwriting, I really started to reflect on who influences me as a songwriter and an artist because I am multi-genre. And so I would say as a songwriter, my top 4 are Julia Michaels, Taylor Swift, Kelsey Ballerini, and Sabrina Carpenter.
Hmm. Yeah, there's a lot of those artists there, like you mentioned, Taylor Swift and Demi Lovato and all.
Yeah,
They're really great artists. And
yeah.
now, can we find your stuff on streaming media? Also, are you on social?
Yeah, everywhere. Yep.
Okay, and you're on social media and you have an official website?
Yeah, I do. So my official website is demimschwartz.com, but I also have the domain demimichellemusic.com, which will take you there as well. And on there is all the links to my social media, my music, my bio, my blog, and I'm an author as well. And so there's information on that. And I'm the host of 2 podcasts, so there's the information for that as well.
Okay, well, check them out on all streaming platforms and all social media platforms. I know she will love you, and of course, check it out on the official website. And like I said, I know she would love you for all those things. And we're getting ready to watch this music video. It's called what, Kind Heart, I think it's called.
Yep, that's it.
And it's a really good song, of course. It sounds self-explanatory too, but tell us a little story about this song. We'd love to hear it.
Yeah, so Kind Heart is the lead single that I released off my album Hear Me Out that released on August 23rd. I released Kind Heart on Leap Day, February 29th to kick off my new musical chapter. And this song is really special to me, and I wrote it at a time when I was doing a lot of reflection on kindness and what it means to be a kind person, and some things about being a kind person that aren't always talked about. Like, people always say being nice goes a long way and kindness doesn't cost a thing, and those things are true, but there are some downsides to, the kindness when you start to be taken advantage of for your kindness, and people are like walking all over you, or people like aren't reciprocating. And like, people who are kind like me, I kind of just take it because I don't like drama. I don't like to stir the pot. I don't like to make things difficult. And so I always try to be as kind as possible, but I recognize that I was in situations where I was feeling a little sour because I was like I'm so kind, but like people aren't reciprocating that, and I'm left feeling down. And if kindness doesn't cost everything or anything, why do I feel like I've spent everything? And I just started to reflect on how it's hard being kind sometimes, and that's where this song came from. And I loved recording the song as well because with my piano background, I composed the piano accompaniment for this song, and then I had a extremely talented flutist, Anna O'Malley, play on it, and my producer and I added in some other instrumentation. So it's a great song that I really loved writing this one because it really captured where I was with my headspace at a certain period of time, and I just think it has an important message that those of us who are kind, we don't always show what we're going through on the inside. I'm very introverted. I don't really share my feelings a whole lot, just in conversation, talking to people. And I could appear on the outside that I'm like, oh, happy and like everything's okay because I'm so nice all the time. But those of us who are kind deal with stuff as well. And so it's just bringing awareness to how recognizing that you never know what someone's going through. So being kind is always the way to go as well.
Yeah, and it's got a very positive message, obviously.
Yeah.
And I think you guys are really going to love it. We're going to get to that in a second. But Demi, Lynn, thank you so much for being on the show.
Yeah. Thank
We'd
you
love
so
for you to
much.
come back sometime if you have something new to plug for us, or maybe you can consider coming back on the show.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, no problem. And here it is, Demi Michelle, and it begins right now.
Without expecting something in return, but a little reciprocation wouldn't hurt. I'm going down roads with dead ends, but I can't help it. Don't wanna be selfish, but lately I've noticed being sweet has left me feeling pretty sour. So I won't sugarcoat it no more. If it's true that kindness doesn't cost a thing, then why do I feel like I've spent everything? They say being nice goes a long way, but 1,000 miles wouldn't change how it's kinda hard having a kind heart. When I'm on the fence, I try to do what's right, but being the good one isn't all sunshine and butterflies. I can't deny I face consequences too. Lately I've noticed getting used has left my heart all bruised and broken, but I don't show it. If it's true that kindness doesn't cost a thing, then why do I feel like I spent everything? They say being nice goes a long way, but 1,000 miles wouldn't change how it's kinda hard having a kind heart. Don't get me wrong, I've got my flaws, but I don't need no wings or
father.